Are you in the dark?
I don't know. It was nice and quiet. How are you, brother?
I didn't know you were here. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I made it back
I
at
didn't want to
5.
sit up. And then I got your email. And I'm like, oh, I didn't see her.
I just sent out the link. I just sent out the link, bitch. So let's see. I think I have the volume off until we start. I think. So how goes it?
How goes it? I have, we are in desperate need of a pump in our sump pump station. We are in desperate need of 2 pumps.
I know you said that.
But
So
one needs to get done like right now.
didn't we sign it, or I signed it?
No, that was for the
Oh, the cage.
Yeah. But we are gonna
The Biden cages.
It's 7,500 for
Oh,
Yeah, that's why.
does anything ever just cost $1,000 anymore?
Did we have like one was on life support and one was new like a year ago or not?
Yeah, one is still, you know,
Okay.
like 2 years ago.
Yeah, no,
but-
right, whatever.
But one is like 2 years, and the other two are like one. Actually, I think just kicked the bucket. It keeps saying it keeps tripping the thing, so Victor just disconnected. So now we have one pump, or we should have two, and it's a small old pump.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we need to get two more in there, but definitely we need to get one. We need to get one like right away because I mean the garage is flooded, and it wasn't even raining that hard today, and it was there was water.
It is crazy. Everything, there's nowhere for the water to go. Sunrise neighborhood.
I just made it through myself. Yeah.
In my little, 200-pound, 5-foot car.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where I was.
Right in the middle, I was able to make it
Right,
happen.
just north of Sunrise, right? Well, they went
Right at the west turn on Sunrise.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
went
yeah.
in, yeah, right there, yeah. Yeah, just, hey, I'm not really.
Yeah.
Here's the white line.
Yes. He is our tenant for July.
All right, so Drew signed in.
Yeah, it was so complicated. She turned off here, went down. She didn't think. Turned back up. I mean, look, we can't make that. Just like it was some people back. Cage.
Yeah.
So
That's
for what it's
worth.
worth. Anyway.
Isn't that
Right,
was
All right, I'm sure.
I'll bring that.
Okay, no.
I should know. Well, next time it happens.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying, I don't want to be that kind of.
No, he's not being that guy too heavy. Yeah. But I mean, I'll definitely tell him. He can.
All right.
Come on. So here, you wanna sign $75,000 and $7,500 one?
Do we have $75,000?
75. Yeah, we can. But this is money that I'm gonna use as the figure for the plumbing work anyways.
So what is it, do we have a detailed one?
We don't have a full detail
Not
we need
for
how
now.
many, we don't have like how many pipes, but we do have like, $4,000 for like ventilation pipes that go on change.
Sure.
We have like $6,000 worth of drain plumbing down in the garage because everything is like a 3-inch. All the drain from up here drain down to like a 3-inch pipe, so we change all of that or a 2-inch pipe. So that allocates to like $8,000. And then we have some other iron cast pipes that will be somewhere around $8,000 as well. And then we got the parking lot, the irrigation system in the parking lot. I think it's probably like $3,000.
Is that some of that stuff that we could sort of time out over like third and fourth?
Especially next year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, not until next year. No, that's when I hope you done this year. We spent.
Well, no, I mean 22, but like third, fourth quarter. I mean, because I don't know.
We've spent like $30,000 in 2021 in plumbing, which we didn't budget for.
Right,
We're
now you're
already
saying,
in the hole for that.
right, that's what I'm saying, now you're saying there's like another, what, you said?
Probably another 30 to 40, probably another 30, and then at most, I don't think we'll get to that much. Probably consider another. I mean, I want to give a larger number with regards to putting the money together because I don't want to be short. But I don't think we're going to spend $30,000, $40,000 for plumbing, and then another like $20,000 for the sump pump station.
Is that what you were just talking about now?
Yeah, so I mean, it's right here, 7,500 out of those 20.
Yeah.
So that's just one. That's just one.
Yeah, sure, no, what's up?
Because city did. Definition service salary,
Yeah.
for a reason. City did. Maybe we should talk now, because Charles can't take it.
Well, let's,
I know he put a little patch there where he buffed it.
Yeah, he tried it the second round. How did it look?
I mean, that would look fine once he clears out all the diamond plate, but.
that's so much work, and all those extra.
I know.
Design and shit to get the black off.
There's also part, I don't give a shit about the rest of the buildings, you know what I see every day, you know, they do small, but they do small, so 50% of what they do. As a woman, I'm telling you, the
The
line.
perimeter, yeah, no.
Perimeter, so. And I think maybe he doesn't have the time with all.
But I told him already.
But that's
Yeah, but no,
the same
hold
thing.
on. It's the time. You have an entire high
Claire.
you have an entire building. You remember when I suggested maybe like once a month we get in a crew and give them set tasks? Because think
Yes,
about
yeah.
it, every day he has to come and clean this entire building. You can't do all of this and that.
Yeah, and that's the same thing that happened with the columns up in the front, that whole bottom, nobody understood why they were, that's what it is.
So what we need, I think, is we need to.
That's what I started talking about.
Yeah, I think we need, you can't ask somebody, think of the size of this place.
Sure.
You
One
know,
person is enough.
It's not even, it really is.
We could also, like the outside, the more cosmetic stuff, when people say around
Our
the
stuff.
church.
Yeah.
We could always get like a one-time clean to be done with that kind of stuff. So then there's more maintenance, right? Not so much in advance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right? You know,
Yeah, every day he can do what he always does, and keep the floors, each floor clean and everything. And then once a month, we get in a crew, and they do, even
Yeah,
on our floors, the metal around the elevators, all of that.
Yeah.
That kind of cleaning, because if
Who
you.
does that though? Do you know anybody that does that?
You know what I'm gonna try and look
That's what
for?
the cleaning service is.
No, besides not a cleaning service, it's just people who clean. So why don't I try and find somebody who actually cleans and tell her, listen, we'll pay you to come once a month, we'll give you whatever it is a day that, we decide. And this is what we want. We want this clean, we want those clean, we want that clean. And that way, he just does the daily maintenance, which he has always done and does. Okay?
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's your call, but yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Just get it.
Okay. All right. Do we want to get,
Let's be good.
let's get Drew on the phone?
he's here.
Oh, he's here. Yeah. All right, good. So, thank you all for coming.
I want two of you.
Well, the fourth floor is definitely represented here, right? How are you?
Good.
Good.
All right. All right, so let's call this order to, the meeting to order at 6 o'clock on the dot. And we're gonna call the roll. We have Drew on the phone, we have Mark Carmet, and Joey Mitriello as part of the board. And the purpose of this meeting was particularly for one reason. It was because the board has had only 6 members since the 7th member sold his unit and moved out. That was Paul Savage. So we have had a vacant seat of the board for months now, and after a lot of discussions, the board came up with a candidate who we are now going to ask to become part of the board, and that candidate is Sharon Shaw. So, all in favor for Sharon Shaw to become the new director of the board? Mark? Aye. Drew? Yes. All right, and then, Sharon, welcome to the board. Did you get your own name tag?
Not here, look.
There,
That's so much you wish for.
I'm a Sharon, it's the only thing you'll get. There's some harassment.
We don't get,
Welcome to harassment.
we don't get t-shirts, we don't get hats, hats, no.
So welcome to leaving your peace aside.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so then what we decided to do is to have a discussion, since we don't have a lot of board meetings. And we were having this one, and we were all gonna sit here, to discuss some of the expenses that are coming up in 2022. We have a lot of expenses that are coming, and we kind of wanna start discussing them, we're gonna try to spread them out. But we do have a concern. We were just talking about plumbing. Plumbing, we've spent about $30,000 on plumbing this year. And we obviously didn't budget we budgeted for like a third of that, at most, not even. So, talking to the plumber, we came to realize that this year, we're probably gonna be somewhere close to that again. Aside from that, we have the sump pump station that needs new pumps, a new cover. I'm assuming that's gonna be like another $20,000. So both of those together, we're gonna be somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000 that we're gonna need for the year with regards to
The sump pumps now.
the sump pump is about 20, because we need another 2 pumps.
So we just have this one.
We need 2 pumps, that's gonna be about 15,000.
Okay.
And then we need a cover.
We need
so
to
we
cover,
five.
and then,
Okay.
It's like 4,500.
That was a permitting thing,
Yeah, that was
so it all falls in.
right, which we still haven't done, but they passed inspection, right? Next year, they're gonna ask us to do it again, so we haven't figured it out. So yeah, that's,
All right, so then what's the other plumbing?
The other
Besides
plumbing
all that
consists
pumps,
of,
vent lines.
a lot of the cast iron pipes that we have, which is
Okay.
the vents, the plumbing.
So do we think, was I wrong, that was it 1,500 or less?
It was less, it was about, they changed 3 pipes, and it was 1,500 for 3.
Okay, so.
But I talked them down to 1,200.
Yeah.
I talked them down to
That was
12
Rick.
from now on, because it was 1 unit, so I talked them down to 12. But yeah, Rick was charging us like $700 for drywall work, which now we're doing in-house, so we're saving that much on every single plumbing repair, so that's.
So which stacks are we doing now? Do we have a list of them besides the doing the?
We're only gonna do them just like we did now, you know?
I agree.
We realized that, I know that, I think between 3A and 3D, that's probably the next one. I think in your
Stacks,
stats.
I have the same issue with him, is the smell.
So it's kinda like, that's pretty much a good vent pipe.
Yeah, I don't know if I think it's good that we have an H, it's good that we have.
Oh,
an
yes.
H- an H person,
Yeah,
an H person here. Do you have any, so at different times, there, everything, right, the vent stack, the toilet venting stack can get that smell in certain stack units. So I've had it, not so much in my first 3 or 4 years, but more in the last year and a half, marked it to, so we're addressing that in the D stack. We're gonna address it next in the J stack, so.
It usually doesn't go above like 11.
Right.
Usually.
it's a vent pipe.
So what they are is they're old cast iron lines.
The ones that crack.
Split over time, you know, they just because of the salinity in the air and everything, they just literally,
They crumble.
they just crumble, literally crumble. The metal turns into flake, and then all the gases inside starts to get out. That's when it gets.
Have you had any smells?
Not yet.
Okay.
So, and that's the only way for us to really know?
Yeah.
Unless we open up all the.
Right, we're
doors.
not gonna do it, you know, we're
Yeah.
gonna do it as an event,
Now.
like an event based.
Is it a big exhaust pipe?
No, it's about
Well, we can do a
5 or
smoke
6
test,
inches in the wall, you
And they
wouldn't.
split?
which he should just
Yeah,
smoke test on
they
the vent
split.
pipe, but then we still kinda gotta, yeah,
Yeah,
we
they
gotta.
crumble?
Yes,
Yeah, we still
but
gotta do it
it's
down.
not, they don't really do anything except the exhaust
Right.
smell like air, right?
Right,
So
right.
it's not the end of the world except for the stain. So we're not gonna like proactively do every step.
Right.
We're event based, like I noticed it, Mark noticed it.
And for example, you noticed it, right? So we did yours, we immediately found out that it was 100% crack. And as you would so 5, the 5th floor looks fine, but the 3rd floor looks like it has a crack that continues. So now, we need to figure out which one is our easier point of entry without breaking too much stuff. Some
Right.
people have like really upgraded their bathrooms, so we wanna try to find a drywall to go through, so it's easier to replace.
3rd floor on what stack?
A and B, between A and B.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that one next. I gotta talk to both owners and see who is willing to change tile style.
I guess so.
There's no way we
can
can
have a problem.
No, it was 4A. What?
You're asking
That's
that.
what
Or the
Go,
C, I-
that was to
Not right now.
repair the plumbing, for plumbing. We had to go anywhere to get, yeah, we did that one.
D-stack, well, that's a good thing to bring up for plumbing, because
Yeah, that's-
since I've lived here,
Wait,
that's
what's
been
your issue?
I've never had that problem.
water,
You have to what?
You have to
intermittent.
wait for hot water.
Okay, now you said it just happened to me, I thought, okay,
Okay,
I'm gone.
No, that's notorious in the D-stack. Like Tagara and I have always complained about that.
Okay,
but,
I have never had it, and it just happened to me in my kitchen, so I'm saying.
That we never run into.
That's what I thought it was happening, it just happened, and I thought it was because I was away.
Yeah,
And
but
I
we still have the
think
issue.
then, so when
I know that.
I'm like, I'm not gonna call water,
The
so
opposite
later,
of that
I
is
didn't have an answer shower.
Yeah.
And it didn't have,
It's only in the.
It's only the kitchen is usually separate. I've never had the experience
Yeah.
of
Only
that.
have-
Okay, I just thought, okay, well, maybe there's nothing on, or you.
Sharon,
I've
I
never
thought
had
it was
this
my new
happen.
closet and I was gonna tell.
Just had, just the other day?
I wish, yeah.
Yeah, it just happened to me the other day.
So I don't know if that's a.
Steve Jack, kitchen closet.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have another plumber. By the way, I have another plumber that I'm like.
There was about, yeah, we should,
Yeah.
but there was probably a 5-6 month period where my hot water was perfect. It was, because sometimes it'll be scalding, and then sometimes you can run it full blast for 10 minutes and it's barely lukewarm. But so like last year for me, like I wanna say maybe like, I don't know, May, June, July, through the summer. Perfect. Now it's starting to get not really hot, not warm, and then one day it'll be scalding all day. And since, I don't know.
We never had a problem.
I've
We-
never
we
had
had a
it, just the other
problem.
day, and I
So we currently have a problem in 14A. It's already been addressed, it's already been replaced. But there's a cartridge in the shower panel, okay? That little cartridge is the one that determines how much hot water
Yeah,
or cold
yeah,
water.
of course.
That goes bad. Once that goes bad, all the water that is connected to that pipe,
Which is
will
every
either
month.
be hot or will be cold.
Right.
So like right now, 14A is getting that done. 14D, the toilet, and 12D, the toilet water is like boiling hot. Like you touch the toilet, I mean, you can sit on the toilet, but if you touch it, it's warm. Like, you know, so, and that's coming from
Yeah,
14A,
that's national
14D and 12.
It's an amenity.
Right, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
should
with
charge
our
for it.
faucet,
That's why we-
I thought it was the new faucet that was doing it, but Sharon is saying the same thing is happening to this, so if that's the case, it's not the new faucet.
Right,
No.
like Tagara with me,
It's
in
a snack.
the D-sack, right, he and I did some.
And I just had it happen, so to
Yeah.
your point.
9
This is
years,
probably
that's
like
never.
a year and a half ago, Tagara and I had the same conversation, and he gets that intermittent, it will be scalding or lukewarm.
I'm gonna,
That's
So,
what we're getting
yeah,
now.
that's been an issue.
yeah, right, it's nothing new, yeah.
Yeah, and nobody's ever really found
Right.
the
Why
right
does
solution.
it just all of a sudden, could it be somebody in our stack has a faulty pipe and it's messing up all of us?
It could be that, it could have been a bad, not because it's brand new, right, it's just happening now again. Because I've also found in the past, like 3 years ago, I found one plumbing work was done backwards, and it was backwards, they had the hot pipe going to the cold.
Well, it's always been specific in my unit to the kitchen. Kitchen is always, which is a separate line than shower.
Maybe what we should put in the rules is, after a certain amount of years, you have to upgrade your plumbing hardware, because since it's causing such a problem.
Well, if that's the issue, I mean, it's like.
Well, I just gotta get a kitchen faucet,
It's one of the,
it'll be a year.
one of the reasons.
I got you one.
Yeah.
That's just one of the reasons, but you can have something else. It has to be, I think with you guys, because you guys work with CSAC, it has to be maybe with a diverter up top that regulates the hot water that's coming into that stack. I'll have to take a look at it.
Sorry, Joe.
No, but this is all what this is what I'm talking about. This is all the plumbing stuff
Yeah.
that
Right.
we're trying to clear out.
Affiliated out every
That we've
issue.
already done everything else in the building. Now it's time to like start getting into like the stuff that the building needs that nobody
But there's
sees.
the plumbing stuff. There is, we're gonna have the,
Here, I'll go in order, because I got you. The next item is the fire panel on the speakers. Our panel is obsolete. The speakers are old, the sensors are old. They don't even communicate, I mean, it works, don't be scared, the fire alarm works, but it doesn't communicate well, it's constantly going off. Like sometimes you guys hear the alarm go off, but sometimes, but a lot of times, they just, the alerts go off in my office, and that thing just beeps all day long. I mean, those things are bad. We've gotten quotes from 52,000 all the way up to like almost 100,000 on different panels. Now, the one for 52,000, I think is well priced, and it's the company that we use now. So I trust what they say. I looked at the panel recently, one of them was fine. I mean, I don't know about fire panels, and their prices are so different that I personally cannot compare them.
Those prices were always like that when we were first looking at it.
Yeah, the prices have always.
They were always like, wait, they're about fire panel, right?
Yeah.
I think they were like 20 something and 40 at the time, but.
Now this comes with brand new smoke detectors in all the floors.
And this was the one you said it's the same wire, so that.
Yeah, but we're gonna use the same wire and the same speaker. We're all gonna replace the missing speakers. Some units are very in between. But yeah, this is usually the same wires, and they're the same code for all three.
That's $52,000.
52,000.
Okay.
About five.
So we go about 52 there, 70,000 in plumbing, go ahead.
The elevators, we have different routes here. One is, obviously, when they're talking about, we've been talking about the modernization of the elevator, right? That cost about $450,000. Now, we have a lot of money in reserve for the elevator, so it's not like we gotta come up with 450,000, but that's how much it costs, 450, and maybe a little less, like 420 for both elevators. We technically don't have to do the modernization at all, really, but there's new codes, and either we do the modernization that comes with that, or we have to add those features to it, which will cost money also, before 2023. That's when this needs to be done. So either we decide to do the modernization, or we get our company in here and they can figure out everything that we gotta do so that the doors close properly, so that, we don't feel the bumps, so that there's different things that we can do, We can repair all the guides and all the stuff that goes with the cart and the doors, okay? And replace all the buttons, the panels inside, and then add the additional parts, which will obviously be a lot less than $420,000. Or we could do the modernization and do it all in one shot.
What's it about now? What's the reservation?
About 300.
I say we do the modernization.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it
I am
sounds like
sick
a bunch of
and
band-aids
tired and
the
tired
other
of riding in those.
Well, the one thing that we're trying to find out, or that I can ask, is what is involved in the modernization? They're pushing to us to change our motors to AC motors, not DC motors, like I don't care.
We have $288,000 in elevators.
Say that again, sir?
But
$288,000 for elevator repairs, but then we also have $106,000 in exterior painting that with the vote we could transfer, I believe. I'll have to find out because we already did the exterior painting.
Probably maybe something like, well,
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So we'll get to that part. We'll discuss it, but I'm just trying to kind of give you guys an idea of where we have money sitting around.
And, I'm just gonna throw it out there, you said, are they gonna come and give us their recommendation?
They are. I told them I was gonna talk to them after, because he emailed me, I said, look, I have a meeting on Monday, I'm gonna talk to the board, and then I'll give you a call.
Is this all three?
And
We're
then
only
you
talking
know.
about all three elevators. No.
Hold on.
Sorry.
For what?
For doing any kind of repair
The
modernization.
$450,000 is for the modernization, the full modernization of 2 elevators. Now, what is it called? The controller upstairs on the service elevator has already been done. So that's not something we have to do. So that doesn't mean that everything else has to need to be replaced. Everything else has to.
That's when we came to the point, like, well, that elevator goes down too, so what's the issue?
Okay,
So that's what I'm saying, you do modernization, that controller's already new, relatively.
Steve showed me a little thing, and actually that might be what's bothering the door. So this is the door. And Steve showed it to me because the door was sticking and somebody came up.
In the service elevator?
Yeah, man. So they were all traumatized. So we all got in the elevator to see if we were gonna stick too. And what happens, and Steve was showing it to me, so the door closes and there's a great shift here.
Right, there's like a half an inch.
There's a
before-
bump.
Yeah.
And that's what's causing that problem, okay?
But there's still an issue.
There's a lot of issues, and that happens in different parts of the door. Because today they were here clearing one part that was sticking out.
So how can we make every one of them work well? Because that is a big issue for everybody living in.
I'm gonna have so Noble is not our elevator company. Noble is another company that Castle uses. I've been talking to them a lot. I like what they offer, especially in the maintenance. They are a bigger company. They're more known. They have access to all the parts for the elevators. They're well priced. They give Castle companies a
Did
discount.
they quote the front two?
Yeah,
No,
they did.
where were they about?
They were about $20,000 under Motion. And Motion is fairly cheap.
Right, yeah, okay.
So they were like 20 more, but then we get a 10% discount or something because of Castle, so. So I like that. And this is something that I'll give you guys more information so you guys can decide if you guys want to switch, but I would recommend we switch to that because they use the better company. And it's gonna cost us less anyways. But our contract with Motion ends in June. So in April, we need to cancel it, if that's what we want to do. So we have until April to decide if we want to move to Nova. Now, I'm gonna have them come in. The problem that I have with, Motion is that they come, you call them and tell them the elevator is stuck, they'll be here today. And they'll fix the issue today, right? We might get the issue again tomorrow, but they'll fix the issue today. The problem is that when we come to big repairs, they ghost us. Like, we call them and they tell us, okay, and then 3 weeks can go by, and I'm gonna estimate.
So they're more like a service.
Yeah, they're like a service, right? Because they don't have access to parts like no. So they take a very long time, and that gets pretty stressful because you have to like chase them around. We know about chasing people, like, so that's got pretty annoying with that. And it's been every major repair with Motion, it's always been like that.
So maybe with the new thing, maybe we could also get their version of modernization for the service up there. Whether we do
That's
that.
not, because we still know the details.
Right, whether we do it or not, just tell us what that modernization would be for the service and give us better detail for the front too. Whether we do it or
So that
not.
when you get in the elevator, I'm not explaining to people who are traumatized why it's bumping and the door is doing this. I understand it's safe,
It's all,
but that's not
but it's all
right.
original too. It's not just-
Yeah.
Right, it's not all, it was probably 80% of it,
Yeah.
right? So,
It's,
We just don't want to be explaining bumps and shakes and things like that in the elevator, which are not fun to 99% of people that use the elevator. We want to get rid of that.
yeah, no, I agree. I think everybody would like.
there's a lot of doors to this building, a lot of people use the service elevator, even a lot of people that don't need to, just do it instead of, I see people use the service elevator probably more than.
So what I was saying is I'm gonna have Noah come in and just give us a proposal on all the repairs without changing the motor and the control panel upstairs. By just changing everything so the mechanics of the doors and the elevator, so that the elevator runs smoothly, doesn't get stuck. And I don't know how much of that is gonna be replaced, but we'll get a quote of that. The only quote we've gotten so far is for the panels, changing the panels completely with, lighting around the button, so there'll be stainless steel buttons with the halo lighting around it and the light in the middle. New braille,
And
everything
they'll
up
be
to
on the
date.
correct side. But
They'll be completely new.
So they're saying to rewire it. They're gonna have to rewire the
But
motors.
what we should do, the sort of piece before that is, if, we probably don't want to spend money with an outside company to do interior cab design, right? We know we can do that. And we got away with bubble there, we've got a Band-Aid for a couple of years with this one, that would be sort of an overall. Right? Because you're not gonna want to put a new panel or new panels on that old stuff, because that depth of that fit could be different once you get off, right? So we want to deal with the design of what that cab is before we decide on those panels. It might mean tear the Band-Aid off all at once, redo the cab, and then put your new panel on, right? Because once the new panel goes in, there could be a
Do
finish.
you have any idea of what to do? Cab decoration?
No, but I mean, I know, what was that, $5,000, $6,000? It was short money we spent, whatever, 3
No, I know,
years
that's
ago,
good.
just for lamination, and we can get rid of all those overlays and just get it back to one sheet and stuff, and I'll talk to you, there's a couple different, we don't even need, we don't have to use, we use interior residential elevator companies that just do panels, it doesn't matter if they're not a commercial, we can just buy them and do it that way, so but my point is, before we get to that, 5 months from now, we're doing a panel, 3 months before that, let's get what the cab situation is today.
Okay, we can do that, because the panels are not cheap either. The panels, the button panels come out to, like 70,000. 72.
But that's with all the floors in the hallway too.
That's the interior panels and every.
And all the installation, and the
And
installation.
installation.
And if we, their thing was, so if we go that route, that's all fine. If we do the modernization after, they would have to rewire again,
Which came out to like 12,000.
yeah, something like that, so.
And then the rest
We throw
will come
12 grand
out,
away, but you have.
will come out of the 440. So we have 420, we spent $75,000 in elevator buttons. So you take that away from that puts us at 365, and then we'll probably pay like an additional 12,000 for the rewiring. But then we'll deduct that amount out of the modernization.
So they will, yeah. So does the order matter then to them? I mean, could we not?
The only thing that matters is that we're gonna double pay for the wiring, which is about $12,000. That's the only, it doesn't matter to them. You know, but we are going to be paying to reconnect all the buttons again. They have to rewire all
And
that.
that's not in any way included in the modernization. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it would, be. Like, if we were doing just a modernization, it will come with all of that.
Right, so why is it not?
Because we're talking, this is in this particular conversation, we're talking about doing the black panels first and only and alone,
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
without the
Right,
modernization.
that's what I'm saying, maybe that.
I mean, I'm just telling you guys, I'm just trying to get this discussed, and we haven't made a decision, and you guys haven't made a decision on which one we're gonna go with, but those are, you know, we wanted to do the buttons now, kind of have the elevator looking nice, that's one option. And then in addition to that, we can figure out what mechanics need to be done to the doors and the carts for them to run
Right,
smoothly.
the caster, it's not like they're not putting rails in, that's not part of the
The truth
modernization.
is.
And
I
all of that
would
cost
do
will
the
also
buttons.
come out of the organization. If we decide to do the organization anyways later on, that all comes out of that. Because
Why
we
would
don't have to
we
do
do the buttons to have to go and spend $12,000 down the road? Why would we just do making the doors and everything open and then go on to the modernization?
If we don't involved in doing that.
Okay, so let's find out about it.
That's what I'm saying, we're spending on
We need
information.
more of a detail on what that is.
Or what the doors.
It's like the same modernization, we're like, okay, what does that mean?
So I thought I gave you, I don't know where I wasn't ready for that one, but I did know, it's just that I remember that you asked me that, and I found that out, and I thought, it's gotta be in like an email or something that I sent you, maybe a text, but I'll
There
find
should
it.
be like 20
But he
pages
did
of what's
give me-
included with their quote, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had a shorter version of what,
You know,
what was it, but yeah, I mean, the contract got it all, but. Alright, so that's, so we'll find out what the mechanic or what the repairs need to be done to the doors so they open, for the cables, for the.
Mario, by what year must we have the modernization?
2023.
But we don't have to have a modernization.
Either the
There's a door
modernization
closing mechanism.
Or meet codes, or meet the code, which is like one or two things that need to be added. By 2023, we need to do one.
Yeah, the modernization would already include that thing, otherwise we just do this special, you know, code requirement, the door closing, but that's.
Now, another option in regards to money, and another good point about Novu is that they are always willing to finance us with no interest. So this is not, you know, we don't always have to come up and just pay like a huge chunk, we could always finance and just say, you know, whatever, that you're gonna divide it into 12 or 18 months with no interest. So we always have that option there. All right, so once we get that, we'll continue this conversation once I get those numbers. And then we can discuss the hallway and the laundry rooms. That's
Hallway, laundry rooms, and the foyer in the garage. The foyer.
interior.
Three for the interior and the two exterior,
Okay,
I
okay?
got you, the one
So-
from the service elevator.
where all the pipes are.
Yes.
Right.
And then,
Just so that the floors, like they can
Well,
describe.
yeah,
doing.
we had sort of gone through a whole exercise of POS on that.
Yeah.
We just never, along with retiling these front stairs down this back area.
Uh-huh.
There was probably like 7 or 8 components of the remainder of smaller areas.
Yes.
So the
Or, yeah.
hallways, when I met with the fire inspector, and he said that we are eventually gonna have to go to fire code, what it entails is that every single entrance door in every hallway has a sprinkler over it. So at this point, I'm gonna ask the board to consider each apartment has one door, okay? We are just gonna pay for
That way
one
you can
sprinkler
make
system
Right.
and maintaining of that one sprinkler system.
But
If
did
you
that
wanna
one pass?
have 2 or 3
Yeah.
doors, but it's going,
2024.
it's gonna get passed, and if we're gonna
Didn't it get pushed up?
hold
a bunch of
on,
times already?
no, it's not gonna get pushed up this time, he said that was it. He said, I'm telling you, they're not gonna allow it, especially what has happened, they're not allowing it ever again. So my thing is this, if we are going to fix the hallways, let us fix them properly. What he had suggested is there's a panel that you just take and shove where the door is, you put the drywall tape and you make it look just like the wall. Everybody who wants to keep a second or a third door will have to pay for their sprinkler system over each of those doors and the maintenance of that sprinkler system, the additional one. Each apartment will get one sprinkler and one sprinkler only. and the rest of them will have to pay the maintenance, so the others all cover those doors.
I don't know what the problem.
Right, but like we had said, well, after one of the meetings, we had around, I said, it does cover a myriad of issues. I mean, it cleans up the hallway aesthetically, granted. It has people not paying for a second sprinkler system because 4 times a year they might walk in their second door. So it's going to dissuade people from that. So cosmetically we'll have a nicer look. And the other thing too is, like I mentioned, water barrier. We had all that water intrusion after the glucose was doing all that stuff. We walked a bunch of apartments, and a lot of them with double doors and stuff. Had sort of kind of legal sort of lockouts with rentals and descriptions of what people should do for their renters that I probably personally didn't know about. So I'm just saying, it is a door, it is the building's property. We can go ahead and, as a board, right, we can make that decision that.
That's the caveat. It's
Her city says.
It's just if you see someone, I bought it because I have 3 doors.
Right.
You can want 3 doors, but you're gonna pay for the other 2 sprinklers,
Sure.
and the maintenance.
Right, but the point really is, honestly, the point is, like, if you have to take 3 more steps to the left versus 7 or 8 or 9, whatever 1,000 it is for that, plus it cleans up the hallway, plus it sort of puts a kibosh on those kind of rentals and stuff. It just,
Wait,
it does.
what's wrong with the rentals?
Well, it was a byproduct.
We walked into one, I walked into, the very specific, I walked into the apartment, and that apartment just appalled me, because we went in with glucose, and I see a note on the door explaining the rules of the hotel, and the checkout.
Yeah, and there was 2 of them in the B stack as well.
Yeah, the D stack, I mean,
Yeah, so.
yeah,
Okay.
so.
Now, Laura, I
Okay.
I try to do my best about checking the people that are coming in out of the building.
Yeah,
I'm not here on the weekends.
no,
I know that.
It's not a
What I'm
slam,
trying-
it helps the whole process.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that I don't see people doing that in that apartment, but they do have it set up for that. So it doesn't mean, that means that they might have done it in the past, before people actually applying the rules. And it doesn't mean that they're not gonna do it again. It's set up for that. So that's one thing that we could have.
Anyway, they can do whatever they want to do illegally, it's not a problem, but every person that keeps an additional one will pay for their additional sprinkler maintenance, and there's another thing. If, and this has to go in the new rules, if at any time the fire department comes here, we do not have a key to every single one of your doors, they will take, and that's what he told me, an axe, and break that door down.
Right.
That doesn't have to be in the rules.
That's the other thing.
But
that-
no, but who is paying for the repair of that door? Not me.
Oh, that. Oh,
Not
that
me,
part.
not you,
So,
not him,
right, that's
the
another-
person who locked that
That's
door.
another thing that when we hung out after this one meeting with staffing, that we talked about as well. So it just like, there should only be 2 doors, there should be a new door, we can even do a laminate on the exterior hallway side, so that there's not a wear issue, there's not a, it's just simple, whatever color we do, just laminate the front, solid slab door, and give people 2 choices of a handle, a code or a key. That's all. And we do it once, we get it done, and it is what it
They
is.
all get the same handles,
Isn't
the same look, the same door, like in every modern, beautiful building. All the doors will be.
I think it's about that.
Aren't they both?
We can
Code keys, aren't they have an option for key on both? On
The one
the
that,
doors.
yeah.
Right, but I'm just saying,
Why do you have
I
to
don't
lie?
think, I'm just saying, some people have 3 deadbolts, some people have none, people have 1. Right, it's all gonna be the same, we'll make a decision, if there's, people are.
And a lot of our doors need to be replaced.
Right, and all the doors, it's like we painted hers or everything as much as it, so it's.
I mean, we had
So.
Yeah.
sand down Sharon's door a couple of times.
Correct, I'm just saying, so,
Yeah.
there's gonna be things, to the point of this exercise, there's gonna be things, that are like the final. Some are little, some are big, some are in between, but we're this close to the end, so we just have to suck it up.
So I think we should, in regards to hallways also, we're talking about doing different floor, right? Have, like some carpet, and then some kind of, what was it, what kind of floor was it?
We're talking about a couple different things, because there's mostly issues from the laundry room out,
Yes,
almost
so
on
dirty.
every floor. It's because there's moisture in the laundry room, dirty carpets in there, the service elevator floor is dirty, you trace it in there, so on every floor, whether you or I or Ann or clean or not, we just have.
I agree,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
people coming from the
yeah.
beach, and it's just traffic.
Yeah, and there's also somehow for glucose work, I think, it seems like on every floor, probably a third to half of the floors have the very same stain in almost within 20% the same location.
Between G and F.
Right, so I think it
Same
had to
brown
be
spot.
like, I think my supposition was when they came around to do window stops and guides and everything, they must have had something like a WD-40 or an oil or something that they were using.
Left the card there.
Right, they left the card and it just dripped as they moved
We didn't.
on. Because there's there has to be one thing that's consistent on most of the floors.
Got it.
So anyway, we knew when we did this carpet before the big exterior thing, it needed to be done then. It wasn't a huge building that we're talking about for plumbing for this next year. So to put it,
Did
so,
not
right.
use the money we had collected for the redoing of the walls, we voted to use it on something else, what was that?
For the what now?
The money that we were supposed to use on it.
Oh, we used it for the chiller.
We
Right.
all voted to use it for the chiller instead and not have to redo an assessment.
So I think
So
what we're
we have
just
done it.
saying is, maybe there's a way through design that we can use some other material, maybe in the east exit of the elevators and the laundry, some type of a hard non-skid material like a luxury vinyl tile or something like discussing, but, not tile because we have the issue of humidity because we have a water system. So you can't just put down normal tile because people will slip in. So there's a lot of craziness in the building when it comes to trying to, make it look nice.
Just so you guys know, we have $45,530 for reserves for common area. So that's
So
also.
that does not include the beach aspect.
No.
Okay. So those two things alone, if we had to, we'll more than cover.
When you come out the elevator, the carpet in a dark color, the green tiles inside, I thought that was brilliant because if you come out the service elevator, what Nicholas suggested was dead down the center towards the door to do a dark
In the-
green
inside
carpet, the same height
Oh,
as the
inside
tile.
the.
In other words, it's gonna be the same height as the tile. So there's tile on either side, and that way,
And the
that will pick up
carpet.
all that dirt.
Before you
It
get
will
out.
also
Yeah,
stop you from slipping when the floor gets, moist.
And
when
it's,
the air
there's
gets
small pieces
so-
of carpet that can get ripped up every year, or
So you
have to
just-
just
it
replace,
goes bad, you rip
And
it
no
up.
more of these annoying edges of the carpet that people
It's a
cut
brilliant
and
idea.
roll up, and we buy 40 of them every year,
And
twice
that
a
would
year.
really pick up the bulk of that nastiness, from the cars, from,
And also launch orders went on there, not the machine issue, but the whole.
Yeah, I didn't be, I wasn't specific on the
All
agenda,
garbage chutes.
but I had it on my,
Yeah.
on my notes. I had interior and laundry room.
Okay.
I know that we're trying to do the floors, the walls.
the lighting on the.
Some garbage chutes, like mine is pretty much falling out of the wall.
Is it?
I think this budget, no matter what gets done, it's not a complaint thing, it's just, they've dealt with it before, it's
Too late, man. You already did it.
That you're putting out.
I think we just need a different, the spring action is so tight on some level, and the torque on the bottom is so intense, we should probably just look at maybe a different door structure.
My shit is fine though. Most, I don't know.
Mine is
Most-
good too.
My shit is like,
Okay.
yeah, actually, I don't know what we plan
I
on
think we
doing
need
for the
to
remodel. Yours is,
Maybe.
I guess.
I think
Maybe.
you need a
Yeah,
nice
mine's a
one
little
like
flush.
that.
Okay.
Sorry about it. I mean, one was better than 50 floor, I want to say, and we replaced it. It wasn't that expensive.
It's the whole bottom, it's like the whole bottom edge of
The
the
reinstall.
stucco,
I mean,
the whole stucco,
Yeah,
then
it's all in
when you pull
stucco,
it
it's
down,
going up.
all that torque and that pull is on the bottom of that door. And then it just over time.
Take a look at this, you actually.
I'm gonna send, I'm gonna send, I'm gonna send.
No, it's more, I think the whole cement front has to come out, a door, either replacement or just new tap cons into the structure and then close it up again. But somehow over time, that bottom part is just loose and it's bringing it all up to it.
I'll look, glucose is taking way too long to come and finish what we asked.
Right.
So there are so busy right now that we should look for somebody else. Yeah, but they see that while working, that's the problem. So the trash chute is separate.
Okay, yeah.
With regards to the remodeling and the laundry, so everybody understands what it is that we have in mind here. New floors, possibly a strip of carpet from the elevator door to the door of the laundry room. And nothing too expensive or fancy, is something that we do.
I would even honestly go as far as to say, let's put like an indestructible indoor-outdoor in the service elevator as well. I know dog and stuff issues get bad, but that being said, I'm just saying that can also be ripped up. We tried this, you know, and this was like $100 fix. It was just to get by. And I mean, yeah, maybe no dog soiling soaks into it and I'm a dog owner. But it looks nasty, and it's a year and a half later, it looks terrible, right? So, I mean, maybe we just, I don't know the answer for that elevator.
We've thought about what to put in the
It
floor.
gets hard use.
I mean, that's it, like the fourth floor that we're, or third
Why
floor.
don't we go back to the industrial,
The circles.
the industrial system?
The ones that are at the bottom, line, we remove
Circles.
everything?
Yeah. Why don't we go, because.
It's just, I mean, the circle doesn't do anything, that's just a rubber vinyl.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, those
application.
I have in my bakery and I can roll things over them and then damage.
But, yeah, but I'm saying that's just the same as when this loose stuff, it's just a different shape, right? It's impermeable, you can't, nothing goes through it, you know, so.
But we're gonna
it's
have
just-
it in the rain.
Sure, I'm just saying, it's, yeah, it can be yeah, it could be whatever, I'm just saying, I don't know what the solution is, you know, it's just never, since we started with that, right, then we went to a floating click,
Yeah.
glue down.
The one that we have in
You know, we went to this doesn't really absorb any stains, which is good, but it looks nasty, so, anyway, it's part of the laundry
I
thing.
think this
The
is.
elevator service thing, we need to address that,
Okay.
just a thing, yeah.
And then, the floors and then the walls, because I know that there's some of them, right, do we still want to do some kind of extra to?
Yeah, we talked about doing a stucco or a knockdown spray over the.
Because you see the break.
Yeah.
And when
The
it
problem
comes-
is we can't really put sheetrock in there and skin coat it because there's too much moisture in there. You'll get mold everywhere, you'll get bubbling on everything. So it's like a jail cell in there, but we're just gonna try and beautify it a bit, you know, with stuff that's not gonna flake off that. Even, you know, look, even a knockdown is gonna have some kind of surface preparation first to make it adhere because that concrete holds moisture. You get paint bubbling, now you're just gonna get, you know, knockdown bubbling over paint bubble. So it's a thing, they're just,
Yeah.
so,
when
everything has to do with
we
humidity
talk
and-
about this year.
yes.
Yeah, I was going to the next question. So when we move now to the hallways, we're thinking about paint, carpet, floors in certain areas and outside of the service elevator.
Some kind of hard surface.
The laundry room. And then we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do about the doors, how many we can close, what we can close, you know, and all that. And whether or not we're gonna change doors and handles, that's, you know, if we can go depending on how much it's involved. But then we do have an idea about the ceiling, right?
Well, yeah, before we even talk about lighting, right, because they're always dark, right, we go through them. So, what about the sprinklers? We probably should be thinking in terms of a sprinkler outside each
We're gonna
owner's
have-
door with what I had proposed to you, with some type of a, like, we have to find out what the length of that stem is. I know they are residential, I don't know if they are commercial, the length, so you have to find out the length of that stem. Let's say it's 2.5 or 2.
Or the actual sprinkler.
We
Yeah,
want to
the
call the
sprinkler
fire
system.
marshal and ask if we can be a
Just
sample
have them
of
leave
all.
us one here,
Yeah.
because we're gonna try and retrofit the ceiling. What we can do, we can accomplish lighting, beautification, and preparedness for the sprinklers
Yeah.
all at one time by doing maybe like a 3-inch drop.
Yeah.
You know, by doing some framing, not coming down a foot, like 3 inches, whatever the minimum is we need. We'll have room for, you know, micro thin LED
Yeah.
recess that we can put in. that-
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it'll do everything, you know what I mean? And
We
it'll,
would eliminate the wall.
we could still leave the wall sconces because they're there, but we could just run a straight line of LEDs, 4-inch LEDs right down the center. So now we have overhead light, which we don't have now. We only have this, you know. So,
If we are doing
Is
that,
that hiding plumbing? What is it from?
well, that's what I'm saying, to prepare for whatever's gonna be done for the sprinkler thing whenever it happens.
so
you
I'm
know?
wondering now, if that's what we're preparing for, should we not, I'm not saying to run the pipe wet,
Obviously, right.
dry, run the pipe, just put in the pipes and
But,
leave it
right,
there.
because the
for-
getting in there and the Swiss cheesing of what we do now is gonna be the issue. So we either have to do some type of a nice tile ceiling, you know, which is a little nursing home for the hallways, right? Yeah.
But with the lighting,
Nursing home,
right.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I've been in a lot of condo buildings that even though they do the best ceiling, it's still like, you know, so I don't know, whatever, but.
Well, but the lighting will change all that, the way it looks.
Right, right,
But
well, my
what you
point
were
is.
talking about with the lattice, is there, and you know, when you were talking to me about the lattice up there, leaving the top,
Well,
doing the lattice. If you
Well-
did your lattice and you put a straight line going down, you put direct pipe on either side.
Well, it depends on where the plumbing is gonna get run. Well, that's why it's important to get somebody here from the city, and let's talk about the size and where they are, probably whomever, whatever plumbing company
Yeah,
is
you
gonna
gotta see
run
how
this.
you
Or
That's right, you get
Or the
pricing.
sprinkler company, right, the sprinkler
Yeah,
company
sprinkler.
that's gonna do this, right? It's just,
Should I
that's
just
a
bring a
whole-
sprinkler company in here since they know?
We have a sprinkler company, I can call them, they're
Call
good.
them, because if they know the code.
Right,
then-
right, that's just.
But I just don't think the code is set in stone.
I understand, but what I am saying is, it's going to happen. I don't want to be assessed for a hall, and then you come and tell me 2024, oh, by the way, I'm ripping down your whole ceiling that you just paid for to come and run this stuff. And I would.
Right, but what we could maybe do is do something, you know, like in the center, maybe just one strip of some type of removable tile for purposes of plumbing, if we were to do it now without plumbing. So that there's maybe one strip, like we have here, sort of one strip of, you know, sort of hung ceiling detail in the center, recessed lights, they can all pop out, people can get up there and do the plumbing work for sprinklers. All I'm saying is let's just be smart about all the 4 or 5 things we're trying to do and get our heads around what that is, you know, all that stuff.
And then we'll be hiding all the
I
problems.
do think that if we.
Yeah, we don't have to touch any- we don't have to disturb any of the
locks,
locks.
everyone is the same, I don't have a gold lock, my floor, I walk past one gold lock, my stainless steel lock, and one black lock.
Yeah.
Just to walk to the laundry room,
Oh,
I
you're
walk
right.
past three
That's in
different
every-
color locks.
That's everything.
Yeah.
And some are just
And
keys,
some of them.
some are round, some are handles.
And
it's-
some of the people have
possible.
illegal entrance ways. The plinth to go into their apartment is illegal. Because
Why?
it's our
Why?
plinth, the entrance to the apartment is this door. The
Oh,
one
you're
is.
talking about the threshold.
Why are we still living with that? It's not, you cannot touch the threshold that belongs to the building and change it. If you wanna do that, go right ahead and do it, but we're gonna rip it up and we're gonna put back our threshold.
Well, nobody's done that since I've been here.
But the
You're
point
right, it's
is,
existing.
I don't
It's
think
existing.
it's not allowed, even before, it's not
Well, when we get to
grandfathered
the
in.
point of moving the whole way in.
That's what I'm saying, that also has to be addressed.
I don't even know.
Because let's say some
No,
people did
no,
renovations and they just did
no, no, there
like
was
2
no-
floors over, there might be 3 layers of flooring there.
Oh,
You know what I
I
mean?
did that.
That, well, that kind of thing, or they used a material,
That is thicker stuff.
right, you know,
Like
so,
or
yes.
whatever.
right.
Which is not a problem, because what you'll have to do is slope on your inside of your apartment, but you can't do it on a hallway, because all of them have to look alike.
But the problem is we really, you know, when you get into that with an in-opening door, it's the issue.
Then we
you know.
need to just
Well,
remove.
that's what I'm saying, maybe it's part of the door story thing, they all have to be out, you know, saying.
Look, we did the balcony on that much pushback. That's all
Right, that's what I'm saying, right.
But what I'm saying is, I don't care if I get pushback, it is illegal. You
Well,
cannot
all right,
suddenly
but
change, because if that's the case, then I don't particularly think, personally, I like sitting on a chair by the pool. I think I want my own cabana, I'm gonna go build one, I can't do that. You cannot take my common area and change it, it's just not allowed.
So when we do this, that'll be part of the discussion.
Just have to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, when we redo the hallways, it has to be. We originally discussed, when we did the hallways, we discussed, that was the reason why I know, right, immediately what you're talking about is because there were some that were not, the black or like dark gray, and they didn't do that. You looked at the hallway and there were different colors.
Right, never mind even some like still have the original marble from when it was built, some have just white quartz, it's just, it all needs to be.
And we originally
Needs to be legit.
wanted to match them, and that was okay.
Yeah, and it'll be fine, if it's all uniform, it'll be fine, it'll get there. So those are all the upcoming
Alright,
things.
so look at, we have the price all.
Yeah, for sure. So we should probably sit down maybe like a group of all of us and sort of prioritize all this grading as to what must happen, what probably should happen.
I think we should itemize prices first, and then that way it makes
Yeah,
it easier
sure,
for
of
us
course,
to
yeah,
say.
yeah, sure.
Let's
Let's,
start.
just expedite all the funny things. They show the building front end.
What do you guys have in mind? Sorry. Yeah, I mean, we could mention it, but hold on, I'll mention it then. The plumbing, what do you guys have in mind in regards to the money for the plumbing? Are we just gonna, do we wanna start, do we wanna try to like extend the work as far out as possible? Or do we wanna take it out of the reserves? Or,
I mean, look,
Well,
we had money in the.
Well,
We had money in reserves.
can we get to the point of what I just said about earlier, can we get, even just within category of plumbing, what is A, B, and C? As far as necessity, you know what I mean? See, again, what it's all total up.
I could, no, probably not, definitely not. We definitely need to do a sump pump station, that's $20,000, okay? And then with the other plumbing, like,
Stuff is short money, right?
we're probably looking at like under $10,000 of immediate plumbing work.
So. it's-
Everything else is just kind of like for the rest of the year.
Okay, so why don't we?
25, 28 grand, 30 grand.
Yeah, 30 grand.
Okay, so why don't we discuss what we discussed here, get fire personnel, get people to find out exactly what it's gonna cost, do the calls, the laundry room, the everything, get one figure for everything and say, look guys, this is what this is gonna cost, including plumbing, you know, everything, and this is what we need to get. We're gonna use our reserves for this, and this is the additional, and let's just do one bang and go. And in the meantime, just pull, we understand that you're pulling plumbing out of a budget you don't have, okay? But if you pull the plumbing out of the budget that you don't have, when we do that one bang and go, we give you it back.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure, it should refill it up very first, yeah.
We also were approved for the chiller claim already. We got a settlement for $52,000, so we should be getting that check at the end of the year.
Okay, and now you can start with that and.
Because we already paid all the repairs, so a lot of money is gonna go through our operating account.
Excuse me, what do we have in reserves?
$614,160. So we have plenty of money there. All right, so then in conclusion, we'll get pricing for everything. We'll do some itemized pricing, and then we can put in order of priority.
Yeah,
What we
it's a
should
time frame that we're looking to do it.
Right.
And which.
But I think all this is this year, 2022, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're going for?
And then
Yeah.
try and get prices for everything else and go through.
But also the logistics of what affects the other, you know, some, you know, some of the stuff that like suppliers are getting injured.
Right.
The ceiling with doors, with, you know.
The interior of the elevator before
Then
they
you
go.
throw that around with the elevators, whether it's interior, that's gonna put one out, and if
Right.
you do
Exactly.
modernization, that puts it out for 5 months.
Exactly,
It all ties in.
All right, and then, what just reminded me that we are going to do some rule revisions this year. For the last couple of years, we've been kind of writing some contradicting rules that we have in our existing rule book right now, and then some stuff that we're gonna kind of,
We need rules
Remove-
that match the new building and the
Right.
new times that we are in.
so we're doing that.
So, yeah, we made that, that's an association road, so,
Yeah,
yeah, we made
Yeah,
a change in
Sharon,
that,
we're
that's
just
a vote.
gonna sit down and leave it that.
Or just get-
What we have,
Everybody. If anyone has a suggestion as to something that they see in the rules that might be obsolete, if they can let us know.
yes, email me a suggestion of the rules, not saying that they're all gonna be taken into account, but, you know, there might be something that you guys see that we don't see.
That we don't see, because there are things that affect each person in a different way. So we'd like to know, because this building has changed over the years, and a lot of the rules need to change, times have changed, things have changed.
So that's it. Anything else you guys wanna add?
That's it.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and adjourn the meeting, correct? Okay, who wants to, motion to adjourn? Pam.
Well, I'd like to officially welcome you.
Yeah.
Sharon, welcome.
Sharon, well, like we said, that's all we said.
That is all me.
Water bottles anymore.
I do not need any
And-
more knowledge.
Oh, we're gonna have to adjourn the meeting.
And anytime you have a problem.
Real quick, you guys received the minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, you guys received the minutes via email for the meeting and the special meeting. It was the shortest meeting in the history of the
Yeah.
season.
Nice.
It was like 6 minutes long, and that was 2 meetings that lasted total
3
3
minutes.
minutes. 2 minutes, 4 minutes. But, so there wasn't a lot of minutes, but you guys did get it. It was basically, we approved the 10% partial reserves, partial funding for reserves, and then we approved the budget. So, motion to approve the minutes.
Yes.
Second? Beautiful. And now we're gonna adjourn.
Thanks, Claire.
I found out from the office, I just happened to